Hello ladies, welcome to Monday's class. Back on our usual schedule here now this week, Monday, Wednesday, 12 o'clock. As usual, Mondays we're doing our pull exercises today, or back, or biceps, shoulders, like the back part of our shoulders. Legs and core are always in there. Let's see, so we need definitely our dumbbells. Any type of band will work good today. If you don't have a band, a towel is fine for that bow and arrow one that we did last week. Other than that, nothing special today. So dumbbells, any type of band. If you don't have the band, just grab a towel. I will give it a minute to let a couple people jump onto the live. December, can't believe it. Who's ready for Christmas? Got all the shopping done. Actually, I'm not too bad. I definitely started later this year than I did last year, but I did it quickly. All right, it is a minute after, so let's get into our warm-up. So we do have a couple new people into the group this month, so there might be a little bit extra description on some of the things. So for our warm-up, we're going hip distance, or a little bit wider than hip distance apart, toes pointing straight forward, reach down towards the floor, and then reach up, tip over, and twist. All right, so we're gonna do those same kind of reaches. Just come wider with your feet, toes are still straight forward. Twist. Okay, all the way narrow. Okay, come back to hip distance or slightly wider, but now we're going to externally rotate our toes. Same reaches. Okay, internally rotate the toes. All right, so that's it for our warm-up. So first exercise, we're going to grab, depending on what weights you have, you can do either light or heavy. The limiting factor here is we're going to be doing a part of it, it's a shoulder press. So think about what weight you would use for that exercise. That'll be the hardest part. We've got a triple whammy here today. So we're going wide with our toes turned out. So last week we did a wide externally rotated deadlift and curl. So today we're going to do the deadlift, so pushing your butt back, curl, but then we're going to go overhead press. Okay, so let me show you side view. So it's just pushing the butt back, okay? Curl, shoulder press. All right, so it's hinging from the hips. Push that butt back. Keep them sideways as you curl up, and then overhead, bring it on down. All right, get about 12 reps, depending on what weight you have. I always say, you know, you're doing the right number of reps if the last couple reps are difficult, but you're able to do them, keep in good form. But if your last couple are too easy, still easy, you should either go up on weight or do a couple extra repetitions. And 12. All right, I've got my light dumbbells here, so I'm going to keep those, but if you had heavier, you probably want to switch up for the next one. We're going to get into that bent over posture, so bending from your hips, but your back is still nice and flat. Okay, and then we're doing a reverse fly. So just flap your wings out to the side, squeeze between those shoulder blades, and then slowly control it on the way down. to my heavies for the next exercise. It is our reciprocal row. So like we did last week, it's not alternating, letting one completely do and finish, but you're letting them pass. So again, in that same bent over posture as you were for the last exercise, letting them pass each other like this, pulled up to like where you would wear your belt. Get to about 12. Whew, all right, come up tall. Let your muscles rest. There's a lot of work back here in your back and the back of side of your shoulders. All right, let's go back to the beginning. We're going to do round 2. So same exercise we started with, the hinge forward, curl, press. And 12. All right, breathe for a second. And then we'll get into that bent over posture. All right, chest out, nice flat back. Flap the wings. And 12. All right, switching up to my heavies. We'll do our bent over, reciprocal, meaning they pass each other, row. $11, $12. Oh, that definitely burns. The combo. All right, take a breather. If you are new to the group, you're welcome to just do 2 sets. Just take a break here while we do our third together. If you're still feeling good and you're, an advanced exerciser, definitely can jump into the third set with us. It's the best thing about this group. You choose your own weights, you choose your own number of reps. I do want you guys to challenge yourself, but you get to choose. All right, round 3. All right, wide, toed out, hinge, hammer curl, shoulder press. 12. Catch your breath. We'll do our last set of our bent over flies. $11, $12. All right. And last one, getting my heavy dumbbells here now. All right. Same bent over posture. and row. All right, so that is our first circuit completely done. So take a little breather, grab some water. Like I said, we do need some type of band or a towel in the next group for the second exercise. So grab that if you have it. All right, first exercise in this group, we're going to grab one dumbbell. You can decide either you're light or you're heavy. We're going to go with a side lunge. So that means going straight over to the side. When you land, your toes are still straight forward. You just kind of sit down on that leg, and you bring this weight across to meet that leg. Okay, so you just got the one. You're kind of dropping down and stepping across. Okay. Okay, other side. Okay, make sure you're sitting back into that hip. When I sit down, my hip, my knee, and my foot are basically stacked on top of each other. If you're not able to get your hips over, it means you're stepping out too far. Shorten up your distance. And 12. All right, so we're going to go ahead and grab a band. I'll show you both versions with the band and if you have a towel. So I'll show you this one. If you have a band like this first, you're going to anchor down. So hold it kind of with one hand looped over one thumb. Then you're going to pull back just like you're pulling a bow and arrow. Okay, so this arm doesn't move. It's all about the pulling arm. Okay, so that's if you have your loop band. And then if you have your long band, it's the same thing if you have a towel. You just won't go anywhere with the towel, but you can still, apply that pressure and get that contraction. Okay, so bow and arrow, pull back. Towel would work the same as this band. Okay, other side. I feel awkward on this side. All right, so next exercise is a new one for everybody. So if you feel real comfortable with deadlifts, you can definitely, I'm going to show you how to do it with dumbbells. But if you're kind of like not too sure about the deadlift, just go with body weight with this one. So body weight, your hands would be up by your ears. And basically it's like you're bowing almost. You're pushing your butt backwards, letting your body come down, and then stand up tall. You should feel the exercise in the back of your legs, your hamstrings, okay? These are called good mornings. So if you're holding a weight, you're just gonna hold it right here by your shoulders, okay? And then it's just keep it in close, push that butt back, squeeze it, stand up tall. Hinge forward, stand up tall. So it's very similar movement pattern to the deadlift, but holding the weights up high just works a little bit more back. Still gets your hamstrings and glutes, like I said. Keep those backs, those spines in very neutral posture. Don't round forward. Having the weight up here definitely makes it harder to keep that straight. And 12. All right, take a little breather. That's round 1 of our second circuit. All right, grab your dumbbell. You just need 1. We're going to go back into that side lunge, reach across. Okay, drop down. Your toes are still pointing straight forward. Just sitting back into this hip and come back to starting position. And 12. Okay, let's get the other side. And 12. All right, I'm gonna grab my band, but remember if you don't have a band, just a towel will do. We're gonna do our bow and arrow pulls again. So anchor down with one arm, pull back like you're pulling a bow and arrow. If you're using a towel, just make sure you're holding it tight enough that when you pull back, there's actual tension there. The towel should be tight. And 12. Okay, yeah, switch it over to the other side. Eleven, 12. All right, back to our good mornings. So if you are choosing to use a little bit of weight, that's great. You can hold it up by your shoulders. If not, just body weight, hands up by your ears, and then just tip forward, push that butt back, side view, push the butt back, stand up tall. And 12. All right, so as the same as the first circuit, if you're a beginner and you want to tap out there with your 2 sets, just take a breather while we do our third, or you can jump in with us. Totally up to you. All right, last round of these. We're going side lunge, step back. Side. use your band or your towel. Get the last of the bow and arrows. Here we go. All right, other side. All right, and we got our good mornings. All right, weights are up by your shoulders if you got them. Not too wide with your feet, about hip distance apart, toes pointing straight forward. Hinge down. Push that butt back. So there's very little bend in my knees. All the movements come from my hips. And 12. All right, that's it for that circuit. 2 down, 1 to go. 3 circuits, 3 rounds. That's the plan. All right, so the next stuff we don't need any equipment for at all. You're just going to be on the floor. So if you have a mat, you can roll that out. Excuse me. Water went the wrong way. Uh-oh. All right, so we're going to start with the same thing we did last week. So if you are a beginner, you're just going to be holding that high plank. So like the top of a push-up position, stay in there. If you want to step it up a little bit, if these are your feet, you're still holding the side plank, but you're going to be stepping out, in with your feet, okay? If you've been doing that, stepping out one for the last couple of weeks, and you want to take it up another notch, you can have your feet jump out, jump back in. So like a jumping jack type thing, okay? So your feet are going both at the same time. All 3, the goal is to keep the hips in line with the body. Don't let them poke up in the air, and don't let them kind of bob up and down, okay? So keep everything kind of in your torso, nice and still. So choose your version. If you want to step it up one from last week, or if you want to stay right where you were, that's fine. All right, so this is the high plank position, and then the stepping in and out or jumping back and forth, okay? Choose your level and go. Perfect. All right, let's get your 12, or if you're just holding it, you can come down. Then we're going to roll over to our back. Show my camera here. Yep. All right, so we're going to do a wide bridge. So the bridge exercise, we've done it before, where you just kind of push your hips up in the air, pause for a second, slowly drop them down. So today we're just doing it with a wide foot stance. So bring your feet all the way out to the edge of your mat. All right, and then push your butt up, squeeze, drop it back down. Excellent. And then we're doing the pelvic tilts, which we've done a lot of times now, but they're so good for getting that inner core working. So it's kind of exhale. So take a big breath in first, and then exhale as you push your lower back. Use your lower abs, all your really deep core muscles to push your lower back into the floor. Hold it, and then relax. Take a big breath in again. Exhale, flatten. Inhale, relax. Exhale, flatten. Relax. So when I say relax, you're inhaling, exhaling as you flatten. It's hard to talk and do this one at the same time. Inhale, flatten. Okay, relax, flatten. Inhale, relax. Exhale, flatten. One more time. Big inhale. Exhale. Perfect. All right, roll back over. We got that one in the high plank position. Okay, so like I said, either holding the high plank, doing your walkouts one at a time, or jumping back and forth. Okay, main thing is to be able to hold those hips and upper body steady. All right, here we go. All right, 12 of those. Let's get back to our bridges. All right, out nice and wide on your mat. Feet are fairly close, heels are fairly close to your butt. And then just push up, squeeze your hips, squeeze your butt, and lower back down. Good. All right, back to our pelvic tilts. So big breath in to prep. Exhale, flatten. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. All right. Speaking of one more time, we got one more set left. That's it for the day then, besides our stretches. All right, roll over, get into that high plank. Now let's go. Okay, rolling back over for our bridge. Okay, nice wide feet. And go. Press it up. Squeeze those booty muscles. And 12. All right, and the pelvic tilts. All right, big breath in to prepare. Exhale, flatten. last one. Perfect. All right, into our stretches. All right, so sit up, legs stretched out in front of you, and then just fold over, reach towards your toes. Okay, bottoms of your feet touch, let your knees fall open, nice and relaxed. And then just fold forward. All right, let's get into our 90-90 position. Lean forward. So 90-90 position means 90-degree angles in both knees. Okay, switching sides. So again, same 90-degree angles, nice and squared up. Okay, flip over, so you're on your hands and knees, and then you're going to sit your hips back on your heels, and then walk your hands all the way out. A few deep breaths here. Okay, come up onto all fours again, and then arch your back up like a Halloween cat. Let your head drop down. And then go the opposite way. Let the back kind of sway down and the head comes up. Okay, drop down. And head back up. So the head is always opposite. When the back is down, the head is up. And vice versa. Okay, then we get into our half kneel. So one knee is on the floor, and then that whatever side is on the floor, that arm comes up and over. Tip over, get a nice good stretch here for your rib cage into your hip. Okay, other side. Alright, come up from the floor. Find somewhere to hold on for balance and then pull your leg up behind. Stretching your quad here, the muscle in the front part of your leg. Okay, other side. Alright, so on our final stretch of the day, take our hands behind your back, clasp them together, and then just pull your shoulders back. Perfect. All right, excellent work, ladies. As usual, everything will be in the group, so you can replay it whenever you want, or if you were late joining, you can finish up, go back into the beginning. We'll be here again Wednesday, 12 o'clock. Bye-bye.